This is the Western Flyer by Bihn. It is a 26-liter carry-on that I use as a carry-on, as a briefcase, and as a personal item as the trip needs require. I use this with the Absolute shoulder strap. It is a $30 add-on. I have one that I use with all my bags. I've never found myself needing to use more than one at the same time. So keep that in mind if you're thinking about getting multiple bags, as this is a very nice accessory to have, and it can serve all your bags depending on how you use it. So just wanted to make note of that. We'll get rid of that for the rest of the demo purposes. This bag has two main chambers of equal size, as well as a back pocket with backpack straps that I find to be extremely helpful. I'll go over that in a moment here. First, we'll take a quick look as to how this can be packed as a briefcase. It has a water bottle pocket in the front. I like that when going through airport security, just throw anything that's in my pockets in an expandable pocket here, throw it through the x-ray machine. Keys and some smaller items here depending on what the trip needs are. Nice to have the exterior pockets there. Then in front here, there's two pockets of equal size, and when I'm using this as a briefcase, I have a notebook, iPad, charger for my laptop, and a pullover that I tend to keep in there. It's just nice to have the charger ready to go and a few other things depending on the weather that wouldn't fit in a smaller briefcase, but because this is 26 liters, I'm able to have some flexibility without adding any noticeable weight to the bag. Now this does have a zip off part there, so if it's not needed, then you can just take the dividing panel there and open it up for using this as one big compartment. Go ahead and zip this back up though. And then in the main compartment here, I have a pocket for receipts and odds and ends, and I have a Bihn slip. I have my work cell phone, earbuds, and some cash, pens, USB, data storage, business cards, snack, wallet, Bluetooth headset, and then space for some documents back here. And that fits next to my enormous brick of a company-issued laptop. Now, worth noting that this does not have any of the rail loops to use a cache, but it does have these loops for attaching a brain cell. I find those work just as well for the purposes of what I need, and by that just mean if you need to go through security, then it works just fine to take this and slide it out while attaching it to the bag and sending it through together instead of having your laptop in a separate bin. So that's how I tend to pack it for my everyday briefcase needs. This could be a meeting here in the local area or a one-day trip down the West Coast to meet with my client. It works quite well for that while still having some space for additional items as needed. And I do really value the backpack straps that this bag has. This adds a lot of usability to this bag that none of the Bihn briefcases have. And depending on how big the airport terminal is or how much I'm going to be walking between meetings, I end up using these quite a bit. Now, say that instead of going on a business trip or using this as a briefcase, because it's 26 liters, it could be used as a small carry-on, and in that case I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the slip. I'm going to go ahead and leave my brick of a work-issued laptop at home. go ahead and keep the receipt pouch. And for this, I have 2 small packing cubes that have some undergarments and t-shirts that fit nicely there in the split front compartment. In this pocket, for example, I can, if need be, put my iPad in there. It's a bit of a tight fit, but it works. And then the main compartment can put additional layers of outer clothing, laptop charger, etc. And I can just throw the pullover in here for reference. Pullover, several other items. It does not have any tie-down straps, so anything put in this back compartment would be loose. Might make sense to get a large packing cube if that would be of concern or if that would be of use. Then in the back here, if I'm doing just a short trip, what I like to do, since I like to have my laptop with me even for shorter trips, I have a 13-inch MacBook Pro Retina in a vertical cache. Just take this and I put that in the back compartment there. I can still use the backpack straps with the cache and laptop in there. But then what this does, just allows me to use, because I have the thin and light laptop, use this second compartment for additional clothes, and that works quite well. Now, the third way that this can be used, and it requires one to push the limits of what airlines will accept a personal item, but I've always been successful in doing so, is using this in conjunction with a bigger bag and underpacking this. You don't want to pack this bulging at the seams, but underpack it, and it does quite well at that with the back panel here that's padded. It holds its shape quite well even when only packed half full. So you can have some flexibility in how much you want to put in here. Just don't pack it completely full so it's bulging at the seams. And if you pack it that way, next to Tom Bihn's Aeronaut 45, this does look quite a bit smaller and will pass as a personal item in my experience. This is 45 liters, 26 liters, total 71 liters without checking a bag. And so because of that, I find that the Western Flyer has quite a bit of versatility to it as a briefcase, as a carry-on for short trips, as well as a personal item for when I need to take a lot with me. And in between this and the Aeronaut 45, you have quite a bit of flexibility for taking one or the other or both.